right, mic check 1 2 1 2. Cowboys Nation CFO gang, are we good? Are we good? Are we good? I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good, y'all, Cowboys Nation, man. But y'all know, man, y'all been rocking with me for so long since I started this channel, man. You know, it's always going to be something. It never just goes as smooth as you want it to, man. But speaking of starting this channel, you know, I had a guy, he hit me up the other day, and he was like, yo, Tuck, man, you one of the OGs in this YouTube community when it comes to the Cowboys Nation. Like, bro, I ain't no OG. This is only my 4th year doing this, man. I ain't no OG, right? But a lot of people do consider me as an OG, which I kind of take it as a pat on the back, and I appreciate that, right? Because sustainability is definitely important, especially in sports media. But what I love the most, y'all, is when I'm sitting back, and I watch a lot of content. Like, I'm always on YouTube, and I'm sitting back, and I'm just watching YouTube, and I come across another Cowboys content creator, and this one born every day, y'all. There's a Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? But when I came across this guy's channel, y'all, it was everything that I liked in content, man. It was informational. It was, you know, learning. He had his context. He was breaking down film. There's a lot of great things about JC, and I said, yo, I gotta get this guy on my channel. Now, we were going to do a playoff show, but the Cowboys went ahead and messed that up. So here we are now. But CFO gang, let's give a warm welcome to my guy, JC. What's going on with you, bro?
Man, what is going on, man? Thank you so much for having me on, man. Hey, look, man, I told you, I've been hitting you up in your inbox. You know, we stand close. It's so awesome to be on here with you, Cowboys Nation for life. I know we go through our ups and downs, but the thing is, man, we get in here, we come together. It just makes football that much more better, man. And I appreciate you for having me on, bro. You already know what it is.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. I know we tried to hook up at the Eagles game, but that was a night, man. That was a night. There was so much going on, man. But, you know, speaking of the ups and downs of being a Cowboys fan, I got to ask you, fam, have you recovered? Have you recovered from that beating that we took versus Green Bay? I mean, my eyes still a little bruised, man. My ribs are still a little better, but I can start breathing a little bit better. But, man, I walked out of that stadium lumped up. How you feeling, man? Are you still hurt?
Man, I'm still hurting, bro. It's I'm gonna be honest with you, because the thing is, man, I expect so much from the Cowboys. It's so much talent on this team through the offense, defense, and special teams. At this point right now, man, when you see guys like Dak Prescott, DeMarcus Lawrence, Zach Martin, those guys are getting older. Those are our core players that make a difference. You want to be able to take that next step. And I feel as though that they can be able to do it, but just locking in, going out there and doing what they're supposed to do, it hurt, bro. It definitely hurt because we expect so much out of this team. But real football fans and a real team, they will keep it going. And we'll see what happens next year, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work that we got to do. You know, and a lot of good things to talk about too.
And I think the hardest part, man, the most discouraging part about that game is just like, there's not one thing we can point our finger at, right? And I think that's what a lot of Cowboys fans are wanting, right? They want someone fired, they want someone cut, but when you really digest what the hell happened, everybody took beat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got beat, y'all, and there's no quick fix, man. And I know a lot of people are wanting solutions. They want new coaching, new quarterback, new running. They want everything brand new. Me, bro, I ain't got time. You know what I'm saying? I wait in Denver 28 years. I'm not trying to do a rebuild. I want the Cowboys to kind of go off of what we already established and just make it better. Just make it better. But today,
man, it's crazy because they, you know, the way that they just be going on our guy Dak Prescott. Tell him, J Tuck, it is not easy to find a quarterback in this league. You don't have to have these guys playing like Patrick Mahomes, even though shout out to him, he's been doing very, very well.
Right.
But if you can be able to run that juggernaut, Dak Prescott has what it takes. I don't care what nobody says. If you can be able to build around him, get that offensive line right, get a running back in there that can stay healthy, and the wide receivers, everybody be on the same page, I think that will be fine, man. But we just got to go out there and prove it, JT.
Yeah, and like I said, I know when it comes to Dak Prescott, a lot of fans are frustrated, right? Because you've been patient for 8 years and just haven't seen, you know, the return on your investment. But what people have to understand, y'all, it is difficult to win a championship. Y'all know I live here in Kansas City. It wasn't always like this. Now, right now, they out there shopping, getting a Super Bowl fits. They, you know what I'm saying? They living good. You know what I'm saying? They went to the AFC championship game in 6 years in a row. It's nothing to them anymore. You know, KC's, they're a little different now. But to win a championship, y'all, it is difficult. I think Tom Brady And Pat Mahomes has a lot of people fooled that it's just some easy magical thing that just happens over and over and over and over again. It doesn't happen like that. We have greats like Dan Marino who never won a championship, and John Elway, took him almost 12 years to win his first championship. And Aaron Rodgers, as great as he was, only won one championship. It's not just as easy as a lot of people want to make it seem. So I get it when you're the quarterback for America's team. But listen, y'all, I'm not trying to do no rebuild. I'm not trying to do no Trey Lance experimentation. I ain't built for that. And a lot of Cowboys fans, here's what I've been saying, JC. Cowboys fans act big and tough. Blow it all up. Rebuild. Bruh, I remember how y'all was happening, and when we lost to the Arizona Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? I remember what happened when we got dog walked by the four. Can y'all really stomach a 4-win season in a social media era? I don't want to do that. I don't want to. 2020 was the year I came in making content. That's when Dak went down. It was horrible. I was doing shows talking about Ben DiNucci and Gary. It's miserable. I'm not trying to do that, bro. So I'm not trying to do a rebuild.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. The thing is, man, I believe that we have a ton of talent out there, but you got to seize the moment, right? We've been talking about that all throughout that whole playoff stretch. You got to be able to step up when it matters. And just seeing guys like Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, if you can just continue to keep building, we got to keep it real with ourselves. It's so funny because a lot of people, JT, they get caught up into the 3- and 4-letter networks. Don't pay attention to that, because the thing is, the people that's on my side, Cowboys Nation that's on my side, that actually watch a lot of my all 22s, when you see guys like Stephen A, right, he'll sit there and say, yeah, Cowboys fans, they always saying they're going to be in the Super Bowl the next year. They always going to say, you don't hear none of that on my side. The energy that you're getting is we have to go out there and prove it. So the problem is, bro, they try to do things for clicks, and they always love watching us, man. That's just what it is. But we just got to go out there and show up when it matters. Right,
exactly. And that's what I'm saying. For us as content creators who talk to thousands of Cowboys fans on the daily, I never hear Tuck, we win the Super Bowl. You ain't never hear none of that. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, man, it's just doom and gloom. I'm always the optimistic Cowboys fan trying to reel Cowboys fans back. I don't never hear all that Super Bowl. But my guy just said something that was a fire, bro. It was fire. What did you just
shout out to the chat, bro. Shout out to the chat. Hey, shout out to my man Jay Tuck, bro. Look, man, what we doing right now with these all 22s, bro, they don't have to go to all the other creators that's not Cowboys fans and all the rest of that stuff. They can get all their information on college. They can get all their information on the Dallas Cowboys, man. Me and you linking together, man, that's such a special thing.
Oh, bro. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. That's what I love about our Cowboys community, man. It's just the education. Like I said, you come across so many different content creators, and when I came across you, bro, I'm like, he's breaking down the film, he's cutting it up, it's accurate. There, it takes pressure off of me. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I'm not greedy. Like if I drop a video, or let's say DMV or Okoye drops a video, I'm like, bro, I'm not making that same video. Just go watch theirs. You know what I'm saying? Go watch theirs, because I can trust the content creators in our community. So it really makes it special. But Byron Brown just dropped a fire comment. He says, you don't rebuild, you retool. And that's where I'm at. I'm trying to retool. We're going to trim the fat, and we're going to get back to business. I ain't trying to tear everything down. I ain't got the time for all that, man. I ain't got the time. Now, JC, I know that you're in DC, right? So, hot topic button today. Our defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, is now going to put his left hand up for the Commanders. What is your thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys losing Dan Quinn and him going to the ops? Because Kellen's an op right now. You know what I'm saying? You got Dan Quinn becoming an op. What is your thoughts on Dan Quinn leaving the Dallas Cowboys?
Man, okay. So y'all know I live in the DMV. You know what I'm saying? So my Twitter handle, my Facebook handle has been blowing up, y'all. It's been blowing up because, I mean, some of these guys from some Commanders fans, they're for Dan Quinn. Some people aren't for Dan Quinn. It's weird, but the thing is with me, right? When you look at the NFL, and if you see that teams you're good in the regular season and you're not getting there in the playoffs, we all know that when it comes down to Jerry Jones, something's going to eventually change. If you bring in a guy like Mike McCarthy, for some reason, I just had a feeling that Dan Quinn wasn't going to be there anymore. Now, when you look at the big scheme of things, we know that we have the talent to be able to get to where we want to go. You got to add extra pieces. I knew that Dan Quinn, I seen a video, bro. I forgot who posted this video, but Dan Quinn was talking to some Commanders fans.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
In the stadium, bro. Like, what was that?
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Like,
so
it seemed like it was already premeditated.
yeah, so for those of you who haven't seen the video, Dan Quinn, he always like runs stadium stairs before the game, like a lot of coaches do. Like I remember in Tampa last year, I kind of just ran into Dan Quinn downtown. So he was doing that, and it was like a Commanders fan was like, "Are you gonna be our head coach next year?" Honestly, I don't think that Dan Quinn caught what the lady was saying. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Nah, he might have caught it, bro.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But here's my thing, and I'll ask y'all in the chat. If you're Dan Quinn, right, you've interviewed for multiple roles since your tenure at the Dallas Cowboys, right? Is Washington the job you really wanted? Or do you think that Dan Quinn just said, all right, bro, I'll just take it? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like this was kind of just a job.
I'm not sure about that because, when you think about the Commanders, and you already know with his type of energy, he's already going into teams and saying that, okay, this is what we're going to do and this is how I want it to be. Sometimes that's not always a good thing because now in the NFL, now you got to be able to adjust. That's why we got in trouble because they stick to the same type of scheme. And a lot of these new young coaches, they know Dan Quinn and they were able to exploit him. But the thing is, when you're going into a franchise where you have a new GM, you have a second overall pick, he probably feel good about it, bro. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, coaches usually their career goes to what when they go to Washington, bro. And
right.
That's just what it is. But one thing about Dan Quinn, I feel as though that sometimes it's just good to be a defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just let that one sink in real quick because when he was with the Seahawks, those guys dominated on defense. When he went out there and he was coaching for the Atlanta Falcons, it switched up. Mm-hmm. Came over here to Dallas Cowboys. When you start winning, all the coaches they started looking for defensive coordinators at every single position. So, my opinion on it is sometimes I think it's good to just stay a defensive coordinator, but we'll see how it all plays out with him. You know what I mean? But we have to keep moving. We got to just, lock in and just stay focused, bro.
Yeah, because Dan Quinn had mentioned that even last year, I thought, because he was saying like, he just wants to focus on teaching because he thought about, even becoming a teacher, which sounds crazy for an NFL defensive coordinator, right? But he just wanted to kind of focus on teaching his players, which he kind of hints that's why he came back. But when you're the head coach, there's a lot of responsibility that you really got to take on. You now have the keys to the kingdom. And with the Washington Commanders trying to do a rebuild, quote unquote, they're not going to be as lenient, right? So I feel like for Dan Quinn, it's going to be important for him to get out to a hot start because if not, he might be back on the street in 2 years. NFL teams, like, they show you no mercy, bro. They fire coaches after 1 year. You know what I'm saying? They'll definitely churn on you. So if Dan Quinn doesn't, turn things quickly, especially if they get a younger quarterback, I don't think it's going to be Caleb Williams, but possibly you could. If things don't go the way that the Commanders fans are thinking, Dan Quinn could be out of a job again. But we ain't worried about the Commanders. You know what I'm saying?
You know what they'll do, though, JT? What they'll do is they'll have Caleb Williams start at quarterback right off the bat. And usually with the quarterback position, you kind of want to do it like how Jordan Love did it, even though they, he's a good quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He sat behind Aaron Rodgers all those years. But the thing is with Washington, they're the type of franchise, bro, they'll throw him out to the Wolves. And usually whenever you throw a rookie out to the Wolves early, those pass rushers, so much pressure, sometimes they never recover.
Yep, exactly. So the hot topic button, right? Who is going to replace Dan Quinn? Everybody been in my inbox and texting me like, bro, I don't know. I know some things, Cowboys Nation, but I don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? Like if I get a little nugget, I'll give it to you, all right? And I kind of gave y'all a nugget last night with Dan Quinn because I knew he was being hired, but nobody wanted to believe me. Now everybody wants to listen, right? But when it comes to, possible coaching hires, I think the number one favorite for a lot of Cowboys fans, or just not favorite, I would say, but probably who they thought was going to be the initial guy was going to be Joe Witt from internally with the Dallas Cowboys because he's already had tenure there in Dallas with Mike McCarthy. He also came from, under Dan Quinn as well. So, a lot of people thought, hey, just an internal upgrade, bring in Joe Witt from being the passing game coordinator to now being the defensive coordinator, right? And that's going to be a simple fix. But wait, Cowboys Nation, what I am hearing, and I thought that originally too, but what I'm hearing, I talked to a lot of people who kind of work in house with the Commanders, that Joe Witt's about to become an op too. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's a huge possibility that we could lose Joe Witt. But let's say, for instance, Joe Witt wants to stay. Do you think he's capable of getting this defense back to where it needs to be as a championship contender?
See, my thing is with me, right? Because I think he's gone. I think he's going to go over there and be a defensive coordinator. Because just like you said, man, usually these defensive coordinators or head coaches, they want to stay with their guys. That's why we can't get so caught up with Al Harris. I know we're going to get into that too. But when you talk about guys like Witt, and when you're talking about quote unquote being all in, Cowboys Nation, they're talking about being all in. Wouldn't you want to feel comfortable about with someone that has had experience there? You know what I'm saying? The same thing with Al Harris too, as well. I know that Al Harris is a good coach, and he's close with his players. But if this team is all in, wouldn't you want to get somebody that has experience? Because it seems like, this is a rush. I'm trying to get to this championship.
Right. Yeah. And I 1,000% agree. Right. Because you're going with unknowns. You're having passing game coordinators and, you know what I'm saying, and cornerback coaches who are, good guys, and they're football guys. I mean, Al Harris was the dog in Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? Joe Witt's been around the league, but it's a completely different responsibility being in full charge of the defense. Do you want to give the guy the keys who's never really done it in an all-in season? Now, here's me, bro. I think the whole all-in thing from Jerry's cap. You know what I'm saying? Cut the cap, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's cap. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to lie to me. You ain't got to lie to me.
I'm going to get a womp on that for Jerry. I don't know if you heard that from over here.
Yeah. That's the button, bro. Yeah, that Jerry Jones is, you know what I'm saying? There used to be a rapper, y'all, you know what I'm saying? For a lot of the older people, if you understand, his name was Fiend. He was with No Limit. You just call him Mr. Womp Womp. That's Jerry Jones, Mr. Womp Womp. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Womp Womp. That's Jerry Jones, man, because all he does is get on camera, lie and cap, and he said they're going all in. But I agree with you, bro. You can't go all in with the defensive coordinator who's never been a defensive coordinator. Like that doesn't reek all in for me. So the next guy that a lot of Cowboys fans have talked about, and even Trayvon Diggs went out and said the tweet today, was like Al Harris, new DC in Dallas. But once again, even though Al Harris is a phenomenal defensive back, you know what I'm saying, and a defensive back coach, he's been phenomenal with Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland, kind of helping them get accommodated to the NFL level and turn into what we see today. Once again, unproven. And then once again, just like someone saying in chat, there's a possibility that Al Harris could go with them too to Commanders as well. So here's what a lot of Cowboys fans have to understand. This is the conundrum that Mr. Womp Womp and Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones has put us in. They know that Mike McCarthy is not getting an extension. He is on a prove-it deal. Well, if you might get fired, bro, I'm not going to sit on this ship and burn with you. I'm going to go, at least Dan has a brand new slate. Maybe 2 to 3 years, I'll be safe with Dan. Mike might not make it to week 8. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go over here with the Commanders, you know what I'm saying? And we'll see y'all 2 times a year and we'll shake hands. But I think that's the serious problem that this front office has put this Cowboys team and organization in. It's like, who wants to come be the coordinator for Mike McCarthy when y'all not even sold on Mike McCarthy? How are you going to sell me on Mike McCarthy when you're not even sold? But what is your thoughts on Al Harris? Do you think he stays? Do you think he goes, bro?
I mean, yeah, with me, just like the same thing with Witt, like I think that he's going to potentially go with Dan Quinn. You know what I mean? But my thing is, if they do promote him at that defensive coordinator position, I mean, it's just so much. It's so many questions, Cowboys Nation. I mean, how does he feel about undersized linebackers?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How does he feel about, well, I know J-Ron Curse is probably not going to be here next year, but, strong safeties at the free safety position. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, did you see throughout the All-22 where they had J-Ron Curse at that free safety position?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just little things like that. I don't think he will do things like that, but undersized, making defensive linemen lose weight. So it's a lot of question marks, and having a projected defensive coordinator coming in this year in an all-in quote unquote type of year, I don't know. But I do got a lot of love for Al Harris, and I like what he does with the secondary, bro. But I think we're in a tight situation right now, to be honest, bro.
We are in a very bad situation, y'all. And I dropped the video a few days ago, right? Maybe it was last week. Hell, I don't remember, right? I said the Cowboys were making a big mistake with Dan Quinn. And what the mistake was is they were sitting on their hands while they let Dan Quinn kind of go around the dance floor and interview with all these teams and all these young, explosive, great-minded defensive coordinators just getting snatched up. And y'all wasn't going to interview any of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been like, listen, we would like to have Dan Quinn back possibly, but while he interviews, we're going to interview. You know what I'm saying? And then
I think that Dan Quinn was trying to roll out like after his first year, he was
That's
going
what I'm
on
saying.
interviews,
He's been peeking out the window ever since he's been in Dallas. So why are we sitting on our hands and and do absolutely nothing? I mean, you could have maybe get a McDonald, right, because he wanted to be a head coach, but you can go get some of these younger guys from Baltimore and from these tough teams, because what we really need, Cowboys Nation, we need somebody who knows how to chop down this Shanahan tree, because this Shanahan tree right now is busting our teeth out. And I kind of warned y'all about that versus Green Bay. I'm like, Dan Quinn had two people that was on his staff in Atlanta, and Kyle Shanahan and Matt LaFleur, and they both came and punched this man's lights out, and he had no answers. So if we're going to find somebody, I'm going to go to a list and find who has dominated the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan, and I'm going to bring you in for an interview. But
we got to find that list.
Yeah, if I, you know what I'm saying, who, it's probably some guy sitting at home, you know what I'm saying? But that's the biggest mistake that the Cowboys have made, just sitting and doing nothing. And now we're backed into a corner where, hey, we thought we was going to, upgrade and bring up our internal guys, but now our internal guys are dipped. And now we have to kind of, once again, like we do in free agency, bargain basement, dig for scraps to try to find a defensive coordinator, which is sad because we have a lot of young talent on this defense, and I don't want to waste 2 or 3 years of Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons. Absolutely not. We've seen it happen too many times in Dallas. Now, speaking of outside guys, right? If you had to go get an outside guy, because it looks like internally, I know people are asking about, Andre Durden. I don't know. Come on, bro. I mean, if y'all doing that, just give me a call. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a call. You know what I'm saying? Give JC a call. You know what I'm saying? I'll put JC as my linebacker coach. We can get back to Rocket. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you just give the interviews to anybody, but I don't think that's the case. But if you had to look outside, who was some of the outside guys that you would be interested in bringing into the Dallas Cowboys organization to be your defensive coordinator?
I mean, you gotta go through the list. I mean, the thing is with me, I feel pretty good about Mike Vrabel. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the guys that I like, just being in the NFL and just knowing the defense and just being around, having a chance to possibly be around guys like Micah Parsons and all of those athletes. If you can be able to build on that, he's the type of guy that likes linebackers bigger. He's not going to be one of those guys with undersized linebackers. So he's one of the guys that I feel as though he's number one on my list right now. A lot of people are talking about Ron Rivera. But when you think about Ron Rivera, right, it's the same situation with him being a head coach and a defensive coordinator. I think that he's a better defensive coordinator. If he stays at defensive coordinator, I think he can be able to thrive when you have this type of talent that we have, but you have to keep on bringing in guys. But yeah, man, we'll definitely see how that all plays out. But guys like Vrabel, possibly Rivera, somebody said Brian Belichick, but I don't even think that he will even, I don't think he'll do defensive coordinator this year, bro.
Yeah. So from what I'm hearing Ron Rivera, as you mentioned, right? And if I had to probably put my money down, like what is the most, bargain shopping we can do, right? It'll be Ron Rivera and try to sell it. But for me, it starts and it ends with Mike Vrabel. Like I think Mike Vrabel, he helps a lot of different things when it comes to this Dallas Cowboys team. The number one thing, like you said, he's a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? So I know if anybody's going to value the linebacker room, well, damn it, Vrabel's going to value the linebacker room because he was as tough as they come, right? I mean, we need to find a Mike Vrabel, right? And then also, if you look at this, even last year, right, in 2022 and 2023, the one thing that them Tennessee Titans did, and they didn't have a plethora of talent like we have here in Dallas, they were going to stop the run. You know what I'm saying? They was going to stop the run, and run defense was Vrabel's niche. That's what he does now. He'll get aired out, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like with the talent that he has, right, he can definitely come in and fill that void with the run defense. And then third, right, just in case, right, Jerry and Steven want to get slick with Mike McCarthy and move on, well, you have a hell of insurance policy for a guy that could be an interim or a future head coach right then and there, right? And you're going to bring toughness, you're going to bring championship mentality. Like Vrabel checks all the boxes for me, but tough mentality, hard nose, you know what I'm saying? He's a culture guy, Belichick guy.
That's okay.
It's okay. That's okay for us. For us, we don't write the checks. You know what I'm saying? It's Mr. Womp Womp up there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. He don't like that.
I got you, dog. But the thing is, man, it's like this team needs that, bro. Because I remember, like, when I went to The Eagles game, we had such a good time. You ended up going, but we didn't see each other.
Yeah, I was all over the place, man.
I know.
I mean, that was a night game. The Eagles game was a night game. I started tailgating at 9:30, 10. I don't know where. I was all over the place.
Man, bro, it was such a turn up. But like when we went to the Cowboys Stadium and we visited, me and my wife, we visited the practice facility. It just seems like everything was just so glitz and glamour. It was so much bright lights. You try to figure out what's going on with the culture. Is the culture there? So just seeing that, just bringing in the right coaching staff, just to be able to bring that energy in, just like you said, bro, being able to stop the run, all that stuff matters. Everything is bright lights in Dallas. So I just don't want that kind of stuff to be a distraction. And you want to bring in these type of coaches that could be those hard-nosed type of guys that'll get in your face and let you know that you're making a mistake, and you'll lose your job if you keep cutting up. So
we had a whole conversation the other night about this whole topic about culture, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause a lot of us been around football, whether you played football or just watched it your entire life. When it comes to the Cowboys, y'all, everything is comfortable. Like, they have you saw it out there in Frisco. They have Italian leather seats in their film room. Like, it's Italian leather.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, bro. They have Italian leather film room. They have personal chefs that walk around and like, it's just so comfortable. And I feel like that's a problem with the culture. Like, granted, it's nice, but sometimes you need something to toughen up, right? You know what I'm saying? We got kids. My kids are spoiled, but sometimes, like, nah, we got to take this away from them. Y'all need to toughen up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Go outside and get some heart. When everything is given to you, it's all glitz and glamour and lights and glow. You don't have to fight for anything. And the whole conversation was, it's like, we were talking about Bill Belichick coming in and changing the culture, right? Or, you know, getting a hard-nosed coach to come in and change the culture, like Mike Vrabel.
I have a problem with that, though, man. I got a lot of respect for Bill. I'm gonna be honest.
Here's the problem, y'all. I'm perfectly fine with Bill Belichick. I would have no problems with Bill Belichick. It's knowing what the front office do. Like, there's what Jay Tuck would do, and what I know they're going to do. A lot of my content, I base it around what they're going to do, unfortunately.
And it's crazy though, Jay Tuck, because if Bill Belichick would have came in here, I know that Mike McCarthy was out of there and Dan Quinn is out of there because he runs the defense. So I'm talking about the very beginning of this whole shebang. I don't know how he feels about being a defensive coordinator now. I did want to ask you that, if you think that he would take a step back and then take a step forward, be that interim type of guy, that assistant head coach. I don't know. For some reason, I just think Dallas would do something crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? Just have him sitting there. The same thing with Dan Quinn. Both of those guys was head coaches, him and Mike McCarthy. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see about it.
Yeah, I don't think Bill Belichick would do that. I think what Bill Belichick is probably going to do, he's probably going to go to TV, which I honestly can't see him on TV, but we'll have to sit back and see, right? He's going to Sean Payton it out. Do on TV, laugh a little pregame shows, and then if someone gets desperate, they'll come back and get Bill Belichick. But I don't understand, right? Because they were saying that, I saw something, I laughed at it. They were like, the Commanders were high on Bill Belichick and Dan Quinn and decided to go with Dan. I'm like, how the hell did Dan Quinn win the coaching job over Bill Belichick? You know what I'm saying? Okay. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to hit on Dan Quinn, but I mean.
Hey, real quick though, how do you think that the whole situation with Eric Bieniemy though? How did he feel about that? You know what I'm saying? And you know, he ain't really done anything with Washington. You know, he ain't proved that he can do anything without guys like Patrick Mahomes, but I know he probably thinking like, dang.
Yeah, hell yeah, he was. You know what I'm saying?
Like that situation.
Well, not only Eric Bieniemy, but sadly, Kellen Moore. You know what I'm saying? I mean, here's what I've been trying to explain to people about Kellen Moore. Bro, you see, if you're a young, offensive-minded coordinator that can put up statistics and you have a proven record, you can write your own check in the NFL. But for some reason, teams do not want to touch Kellen Moore. You know what I'm saying? So there's a situation when it comes to Kellen Moore and Eric Bieniemy. There's something behind the scenes that I think a lot of organizations is like, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you're Eric Bieniemy, it's like, okay, I come to Washington to kind of prove that I'm quote unquote calling plays. And I don't even think he got an interview. I don't think he got it. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I was saying, bro, like there's some coaches out there that they just feel as though is an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator. Right. Some of these owners, they just feel as though that they might not have what it takes to lead as a head coach. Right. And it's not always a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I believe that Dan Quinn, he's better fit for a defensive coordinator. It's going to go downhill in Washington. I just know the organization and how they rock. Same thing with Ron Rivera. I just think that he's a better defensive coordinator not a head coach, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And sometimes you can get that spark, right? And I feel like Dan Quinn kind of got that spark when he came from, Atlanta to Dallas. It's like, okay, where he had a historic, and that's what a lot of people I saw on Twitter was, yeah, he sucks, get Dan Quinn out. Like, y'all forgot how bad this defense was before Dan Quinn. Like, I can't say nothing bad about Dan Quinn. Damn the Green Bay game, because I remember Hot Sauce Mike Nolan getting hot sauce in his eye, and we had a historically bad defense. I didn't understand what the hell was out there going on. So Dan Quinn came and completely renovated this defense. It just fell apart at the end. But like I said, overall, I think he's going to be okay. And sometimes you just need a change of scenery, and maybe that could be Ron Rivera. Because at the end of the day, y'all, we remember those Washington defenses. The Washington defense has always been stout. You know what I'm saying? They've been stout. So he can come in. We already have a lot of the ingredients. Let Ron cook a little bit. We'll be perfectly fine, I think.
What's that quarterback name on that team, bro? Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah, Forbes.
Because I remember we broke him down last year, but he didn't really have a good year. I'm not sure if Emmanuel Forbes is the Dan Quinn type of cornerback. I can't remember his size, but Dan Quinn, he like 6'1", 6'2" type of cornerbacks. But he gives up a lot of big plays.
Now I said this on Twitter, right? You know what I'm saying? For us draft content creators that do a lot of draft work like ourselves, man, it sucks losing Dan Quinn, because I knew what Dan Quinn liked. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy. I go through all my prospects. Okay, Dan Quinn likes his length, you know what I'm saying, size. It's easy for me to cherry pick. Now I don't know who the hell I'm shopping for. You know what I'm saying? So Cowboys Nation, I'm just gonna shop for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna buy the stuff I like.
hey, look, sometimes you gotta look for strong safeties that can play linebacker.
Right? Exactly. There was a few safeties I was watching in the Senior Bowl the other day. I was like, oh, that fits Dan Quinn. Like, oh, he ain't gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So if I had to put you on the spot right now, JC, before we transition over, who will be the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator?
Man, I think I just got a feeling it's gonna be Ron Rivera, bro.
Yeah,
I got a feeling. Yeah, I got a feeling it's gonna be Ron Rivera, and we gotta take him in open arms, just knowing in the back of our head that we got a lot of talent out there. You think about guys like Trayvon Diggs. We'll see what happens with Stephon Gilmore. I don't know if we're gonna bring him back. I know we didn't really get into that, but I would like to bring him back. But just utilize him right. It was making me mad, that Green Bay game, the way that they was utilizing him. I feel as though he's a press cover corner. You got to have him lining up. It was one play that I was breaking down where they had him in off coverage, and a wide receiver, he ran a route, and on top of his route, he hit him with a rock step, and that rock step caught him off guard. He got scored on that play. That's coaching. You know what I mean? So when you think about things like that, man, you just want to be able to put these guys in position. Look at everybody on this defense, man. This team is not that far away, JT.
And that was one of my biggest gripes with Dan Quinn, was all the soft coverage we was playing. I'm like, bro, what happened to being aggressive and press? Like, because you didn't want Asante Samuel, you know what I'm saying? You told Tucker, you know what I'm saying, he's too small. You want aggressive corners that can get up and press. And we playing 7-8 yards of cushion. So of course Jordan Love was like, I'll just take this quick out route. You know what I'm saying? Like, thanks.
It was kind of like the Miami game though, bro, when we was playing against Tyreek Hill, and then we was playing off coverage the whole time. That's what it reminded me of. And I mean, the out 5-yard outs, that was easy money for him, and it was just keeping their playbook open.
Right, yeah. So everything underneath was easy picking. If your pass rush can't get there in 2.1 seconds, it's going to be a long, and you can't stop the run, it's going to be a long day for your defense. So yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, Dan Quinn, wishing the best, though he's the op. We gonna smoke on that Dan Quinn pack when we play versus Washington Commanders. But I really feel like it's important for the Cowboys to go out there and find their guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had this weird feeling like they kind of already had their guy, but I don't know what they're waiting for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, because I mean, waiting to do work now is just senseless to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just senseless to me. You're in the NFL, you're the biggest organization, you're hearing the rumbles like, hey, okay, Dan Quinn's picking up steam and this coach is going to go there. Hey, we need to get the ball moving. But we'll see what happens.
Do you think Jerry about to do something like a splash? Something's going to happen this season, bro. Like, if it's free agency, the draft, if this team is all in, I just got a weird feeling because we just mopped out this past season. It was terrible, and nobody's is believing in this team right now. Jerry Jones right now. So I think that he's gonna do some crazy things this year, man. So remember I said this.
Yeah, and that's the feel a lot of Cowboys fans are having right now. It's like, okay, Jerry's gonna do something big, but honestly, when I look at it, I just don't see what's the big thing they could do? You know what I'm saying? Like, even if the Cowboys like, you know what, we went and got Derrick Henry. Like, okay, cool, keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, you know what I'm saying? That's not enough. You know what I'm saying? Keep going. Then what we gonna get? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like for the Cowboys, just going out and making one splash trade or getting one good draft pick, you know what I'm saying, to get everybody excited, it's not gonna work. You're gonna have to really roll up your sleeves and work to gain the trust from this fan base back. Now, I'd say this for y'all season ticket holders, y'all got about 3 weeks for that deposit hit, so you better make a decision quick. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, that's how I go, bro. That's how I go.
Oh no, yeah, Jerry don't waste no time, bro. As soon as that Super Bowl confetti comes down, you get that phone call and get that auto deposit. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, you're not even gonna let me see. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna let me see what the roster gonna look like or the draft pick or none of that, right? So, but I think they're feeling the heat. I think they're feeling the pressure, the temperament with the fan base. They're gonna try something. They're gonna try something. But here's the thing, Cowboys Nation. I don't even know if it's in their DNA anymore to go out there and really do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would. So I ask y'all in the chat, and I'll ask you this: what would be the move to be like, okay, now we back, let's go?
I mean, shoot. What's good with Chris Jones, bro?
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro.
It gotta be something, man, because the thing is with me, like I'm really big when it comes down to the trenches. Like, I love the skilled players, but I know that we have a lot of those guys out there right now. When we get to this draft, this is why I look at the offensive line, I look at the defensive line, because this is how you can be able to establish the line of scrimmage. A lot of these teams in the playoffs, they play a lot of bully ball. So if you know you can get an alpha, if you can find somebody to go out there and make a difference, hey, bro, regardless, whatever the position is on the offense line, whatever, just go get that guy, man, because these guys aren't getting any younger.
Yeah, man. I'll tell y'all right now, though, Chris Jones, man.
What a money resign. What a money resign. What a money resign. What a money resign.
That boy's trying to get paid, bro. And he got two mob boss agents that look like they in the mafia because they hate him here in Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? And he trying to break the bank. So if he get Chris Jones, CeeDee Lamb, extend Dak, like, I don't even know how we could get Chris Jones. Like, I should try that on Madden. We should do that Saturday night. I'm gonna play Madden and see if I can pull off a way in the budget to get Chris Jones. I would love that. Yeah, that would be my okay. I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is our year. But I mean, you look at it. You have Patrick Quinn out there. You have some guys. You know what I'm saying? But it's not that I'm going to be sold. And I feel like what's really going to happen to spin the fan base, Cowboys Nation, to be honest with y'all, if you look at our schedule, we can't lie to ourselves no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got San Francisco. We got Baltimore coming to Dallas. And so we're out there getting slumped. We'll just know what it is. And I'll be right here. Give me y'all draft content for the fifth. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all we can do. But it's like, I just don't see this power move where Jerry and Stephen Jones can go and ship all the chips back in their favor. I know Jerry Jones had made some comments. I listened to Will McClay's interview today, and he was talking about, yeah, we're going to get some free agents, but at the right price. I said, okay, bro. You know what I'm saying?
If he playing that game again, cuz, then they bargain something.
Yeah, at the right price. He said, we're going to turn every leaf and look at evaluate every player and make sure they're coming in at the right price. I said, oh, not you too.
And you want to know what that is? All that's going to do is just have you good enough to be good, look good in regular season, and then have problems once you get into the playoffs. You gotta be hungry. Obviously, it has shown that we need something else, whether if it's the offensive line, whatever, the defensive line, something has to change. These guys got to be aggressive, man.
They got
Stephen Jones, he be man bugging me out, man.
He do, man. And they do, bro. I you know what I'm saying? Like, and for me personally, I don't do a lot of free agent content because, like, you used to go to the store with your mama. When we get in the store, don't ask for nothing, don't touch nothing because you're not getting it. Like, that's how I feel when it comes to free agency. Like, I'll be looking through the list, like, oh, this. Don't you ask. Yeah. Don't you ask. So the only thing and my only hope that we have, Cowboys Nation, is the draft, and that's why we go so hard. So let's go ahead and transition over to the draft, right? So we got the Senior Bowl coming up this Saturday, and I know a lot of content creators. My guy Big Game James is out there. My guy Dom from Pick Six Sports. A lot of great content creators out there getting that boots on the ground coverage. But a few guys that I have listed that I want to keep my eye on. Number one is a guy I kind of talked about out the gate, Jordan Morgan, left tackle out of Arizona. Now, I thought he might be there at 24, y'all. I'm going to keep it a buck. he might be gone. You know what I'm saying? He might be gone because he's shooting up this damn chart so damn quick. But Jordan Morgan is definitely going to be one of those guys. You have Peyton Wilson, one of my favorite linebackers out of North Carolina State. The kid can do a lot, man. I'm not sure if you got to check him out yet, bro, but
I seen a little bit of. I seen some of him. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Peyton Wilson is very high motor. You know, a guy that has speed, can play in the A gap, can play in the B gap. He can do a lot of different things, man. I love what I'm seeing from this kid. The only red flag is that he's had some injuries. But my guy, Big Game James, interviewed him yesterday, and he said, "Hey, I know that I had some injuries and I've almost lost football. That's why I take every play and make it like it's going to be my last." I said, man, you know your way to my heart, bro. So Peyton Wilson's definitely one of those prospects. The big fella, I know you did Murphy the other day on your channel, the film breakdown, but his counterpart, Devontae Sweat, defensive tackle, big run stuffer. You know what I'm saying? He better not lose no 30 pounds. You know what I'm saying? You can't take no 30 pounds from Sweat. Big guys out there. So this is kind of my list, man. Jackson Powers Johnson, you know, center out of Oregon. I'm definitely trying to improve the offensive line. He's a beast.
Oh my God, dog. Oh my God. He is such a beast. He is such a beast.
He's a dog, man. Here's like I said, here's the crazy part with this draft. Like, I'm kind of going through, like I said, I'm really focusing on linebacker because I know it's a position like a lot of Cowboys fans want to focus on. So I'm like almost like at prospect 28, 29, right? But I kind of peeking around, still doing some research in other areas. But when I saw him, like, oh man, this is definitely what we need. Maybe I can stash him. Maybe I can probably get him. He's gone. He's gone, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these players that kind of had stash, they're probably going to jump into the first round. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. You said that you think that Powers Johnson is going to be gone before we pick?
I think he possibly could, man. I think he'll be around there. But with the Senior Bowl that he's having, y'all, his name is starting to buzz a little bit. Now, here's what I always try to tell people when it comes to draft, just covering the draft, right? You have your Senior Bowl push, right? You get excited about a lot of these prospects and, you know, some of these senior guys. And then you'll have the Combine push, and that'll probably, you know, recalibrate things. But as of right now, based off the Senior Bowl, I would say he would be probably around 17 to 26 range for the center out of Oregon, because I think a lot of people are seeing the value in that position, and I think football's getting back to basics. We saw what Philly has in, you know, Kelsey and some of these younger teams with the centers. It's definitely an important position. But I'm gonna ask you this, bro. When centers don't go top 20, but if you think about Tyler Lindenbaum, right? He went 25, 24, 25, I think.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I think Powers would be in that range. Like I say, if you're sitting there and it depends on how the board falls, someone is like, you know what, the Cowboys need a center because they know you're probably going to move him for Tyler Biadasz. They're going to jump you 22. They might snatch him up. But when it comes to like your draft content, bro, what are some of the positions that you're really focusing on to kind of help this Cowboys team out?
See, the thing is with me, man, I'm looking at the center position. We're looking at the defensive tackle position. Just like I said, man, this team, the Dallas Cowboys, we got all the way to the playoffs. We lost the game, but you got to think about it. In the first round, regardless if it's a 3 technique, if it's a 1 technique, the tackle, right tackle, left tackle, get difference makers. Go out there and get guys that can make a difference. And when you see guys, I love Jackson Powers Johnson. I'm doing a video on him right now, and it's so awesome because this guy's a former 4-star recruit. He's 6'3", 320 pounds. This is one of the guys that is one of the most physical players. He actually played defense in the Alamo Bowl too, bro. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I know,
but he played defensive tackle for like a game at the Alamo Bowl, playing that offensive guard position at the Senior Bowl right now, as well as that center position, getting down to the second level, climbing to the second level, and just being physical. It's hard to be able to find players like this. But the thing is, the reason why I thought about him being there available for us is because I think about guys like Zach Frazier. Zach Frazier is one of the most physical centers in this draft right now. So that's one of the guys that we're going to have to look out for.
Right.
He's a former 4-time wrestler. I'm real big when it comes down to wrestling on the defensive line and the offensive line. The Osa Odighizuwas, the Micah Parsons, guys like Zach Frazier, understanding leverage. So when you have a guy that's physical like that, those are guys that you got to look out for if we're talking about the center position in Frazier and Powers Johnson.
Powers Johnson. Yeah, I 1,000% agree. I think that's going to be 1A and 1B right there when it comes to the centers. And like I said, the Combine will probably adjust them. So you might get the other, right? But here's the thing. you're going to have to get them at 24. I feel like you got to get one at 24. It's not going to be like a situation where you can say, I think second round is 58 or something like that. I forgot. But you won't be able to sit back in the second round to get these quote unquote centers. And when it comes to the center, y'all.
And you want to know something real quick? I thought that it was going to be, this could have possibly been the Travis Frederick when we traded back all the way to about 29. I think for some reason I don't think two centers are going to get picked, bro. For some reason,
You
I
don't
don't
think
know.
so? Yeah, I mean,
we can do the same thing with Travis Frederick. Remember when we did that? I'm going to trade it back.
It'd be nice. It would be nice. I mean, that would be a hell of a thing to do, to trade back and get one of these centers, man, because they're definitely special. And I think we need that. But hell, we might go budget and just re-sign Tyler, be honest. You know what I'm saying? We might do. I can see us doing something like that. But I 1,000% agree with you, bro. This draft, right? This draft this year out in Detroit cannot be about the future, right? And like I was saying this on Twitter, there's only probably about 8 Cowboys players on this roster where I can say you're safe. Everybody out, I don't give a damn, bro. If it's a wide receiver, I'm getting a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? The defensive tackle, I'm not going to say, well, we drafted Mozzie. Nope. Defensive tackle. We are going to reload the clip and get better. This year, I don't want to get any picks that I'm thinking about, in 3 years, it's going to really pan out. I don't give a damn about all that.
Yeah.
You know what
I'm
saying?
Let me ask you this real quick, because if we were to get a center, right, if that was to happen, because that could very well happen this draft. I just want people to just know that, because that center position is extremely important, being an anchor on the offensive line. But kicking guys out like Tyler Smith, how good do the organization feel about kicking him out at that left tackle, and then having guys like TJ Bass? You know, we've done breakdowns on TJ Bass. Do they feel good about him playing that left guard position?
Here is my thing. I've been kind of saying since the moment that we drafted Tyler Smith, I don't think the Cowboys has any intentions of him being a tackle. And the reason why I say that, right? If you go back to last year, you know, even in camp, because I was making videos like, hey, you know, we're going to see Tyler Smith at camp play left tackle. He was just guard. Then you had Matt Waletzko go down, and then you had Tyron go down. They threw him out there, right? You know what I'm saying? And he just thrived. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a project guy, but he was thrived. He was young and he was hungry and he had a lot of upside, right? And did well at left tackle. This year, they kicked the right side back into left guard, okay? Then you had Tyron go down again. Well, they went out there and damn near let Dak get his neck broke with Chima Udoka out there before just kicking Tyler back out there, because I'm with you, bro. I watched TJ Bass because DJ Bass played with Powers, you know what I'm saying, at University of Oregon. So he has that upside ability to go and play right side and left side. So like, why not just play Bass at left guard and kick Tyler out? Simple content creating logic. You know what I'm saying? Simple football logic. But they don't have that mindset. And here's why I don't think they have the mindset of kicking Tyler to left tackle. Because if you go back to the draft last year, who was the conversation pieces between Mozzie and it was Matthew Bergeron, the left tackle that went to Atlanta from Syracuse, right? So they were considering drafting a left tackle even last year. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they're going to put Tyler Smith at left guard, and unfortunately, that's going to hurt him pocket-wise. But I just think that they're going to try to move forward the left tackle position versus kicking Tyler out.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. That's why, man, we're going to have to be able to reshape that offensive line and just get that going. And I mean, not only just the offensive line that we're looking at, guys. I'm looking at the guys like Tavondre Sweat, but maybe like in the second or third round. I think it's going to be a little bit further where he get picked. He's not getting picked in the first. Ain't no way we're picking the one technique in the first round, bro. Yeah. That's not happening. I don't see that happening. But as far as Byron Murphy, dog, I don't know, dog. Yeah. Hey, bro, I don't know, man. That's my guy, bro. Like,
he's this guy
is, bro, he is absolutely incredible. Just watching this guy on all 22, and you know, bro, we dissect this stuff down, and just seeing his talent, being able to, I think he was number 18 on Bruce Feldman's freak list, just like Mozzie Smith, but you can see it on film with this guy. And when this guy's engaging in contact, the way for some reason he was bending one knee down, getting very low, and I've never seen this from a defensive tackle before, but he was gaining so much leverage, and he plays with a low center of gravity. I have never seen a player like that at the defensive tackle in college, being that young and that explosive. And what he did to Alabama. Usually when I watch all 22, when I create my videos, the first thing I always ask myself, what is he doing against the top competition? And he kicked their, you know what, bro, all throughout the game. And those are the kind of dogs that you want to bring in. So with me, you got to consider it all.
Yeah.
Also Odighizuwa, I got a lot of love for him, but
Mhm.
if you can bring in guys that you can be able to mix in with him and you can use him at the defensive end position as well, I think that can be a consideration too.
Yeah, I 1,000% agree. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Murphy and for the defensive line, you got to have more wood in the fire. You know, it's like not to Mozzie. And I feel like Mozzie is going to progress and maybe turn into be a decent player. But I can't wait on you, bro. I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? We'll see you when we get there. You know what I'm saying? So, and what you're talking about with Murphy, salute to my guys from the UK Cowboys. It's like a rugby scrum push that they learned to kind of keep one knee in the ground, knee low. Like it's something they got from rugby. So it's starting to be taught because I think because of the tush push, I think it's something that's starting to teach technique wise. I was asking, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? So
I was like, but you have to be very bendy
strong
and very athletic because you have to be strong in your lower base because if you get that low like that, these strong offensive linemen, they can be able to pry you to the ground. Then that's just a testament of how explosive he is in his lower body.
It's raw power. And the one thing that I will say that I didn't personally like about Mozzie, and we kind of saw it, you know, transition over to the NFL, is that he had very low gas mileage, even at Michigan, right? You would see one play where he jumps and he's damn near like a beast, and then it's like, you're watching film, and you're checking your phone, then you're watching film, and then there's another play like in the third quarter, you know what I'm saying? But with Murphy and those guys, they stay revved up. Their engine burns a lot more than a Mozzie Smith, and you need guys like that. But once again, Cowboys Nation, the hard part is I don't know who's going to be our coach. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sure what type of, you know, personality they're going to like, but we need to get stronger in the trenches. It has to be one in the interior. And a lot of Cowboys fans, right? And I always kind of, you know, saying it's an analogy. Getting a center in the first round is going to be like getting Christmas clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't sexy, it ain't fun. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys fans are like, oh, we took a center. I'm so done with this team. You know what I'm saying? I'm so done. And they're going to come over to our channels and like, Tuck, JC, who do we pick? And I'm like, okay, well, I like them, but I still would have took the wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because you know they always like the pretty picks, man. Hey, shout out to Mr. O'Shea too. He comments on my all 22s. This guy has a lot of knowledge for the game, bro. Shout out to him right there, Mr. O'Shea. We always talk all the time, but we've been talking about offensive line, the same thing, bro. We've been breaking a lot of this stuff down. So, man, you're absolutely right, man.
Yeah, socks for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Or a winter coat that's too big to wear right now, but you'll grow into. You know what I'm saying? That's like getting a center, man. But yeah, I would think that the offensive line definitely needs to be addressed. And if I had to put money on it, I think they will go offensive line at 24. And the reason why is because, once again, they considered it strongly. Now, my frustration with last year's class was, how do you have a conversation, right, in the first round? You're going to go Matthew Bergeron or Mozzie Smith. You're going back and forth. You couldn't decide offensive tackle or defensive tackle, right? You go with the defensive tackle. Okay, congratulations. And then you don't address the offensive line on day 2 at all. You know what I'm saying? Like you just skipped over it. So I was like, there's no way building a draft board even works functionally like that, where you had an offensive tackle up here as a day 1 prospect. We had no day 2 prospects as an offensive tackle, and especially over a tight end. So,
and it's funny, right? Because all of us was in question of Luke Schoonmaker from the very beginning.
It just didn't make sense. And bro, and I said this last year, right? It's like, you know, when I was in college, right, you had to lose little odd jobs. I worked at a slaughterhouse. It was like the worst damn job. And so you got to see how the meat is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nasty as hell. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes as a content creator, when you're so close and you know too much, it's like, it's nasty as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I know Luke Schoonmaker could not have been that high on your board. I don't give a damn what film you saw. Bro, there's no way you can convince me, Will McClay, that you had Luke Schoonmaker. That was the top of your list right then and there when that number came up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, so
and then seeing Jake Fergie doing what he did,
that's
bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I already knew that Ferg still had an upside tick to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have easily got another backup tight end, because here's the situation the Cowboys got to run into this year, right? We drafted Luke Schoonmaker with the 2nd round pick last year. If John Stevens does not get hurt last year, I don't think Luke Schoonmaker is even on the field, bro, because Stevens Stevens was looking better than even Ferg was looking out there when I was out there in Oxnard. You know what I'm saying? But he tore his ACL. So if he bounces back and even shows traces of what he was, where's Schoon gonna fit in? And then you kind of have Hendershot. You know, a lot of people are out on Hendershot, but Hendershot wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Coming off of last year. So, you know, a lot of these picks just to make sense, but You know, I'm 1,000% with you, bro. It's like when it comes to this draft, it's about getting better now. BPA is what I'm preaching. Best players available.
I was about to ask you. Okay.
Yeah. I'm a BPA guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm BPA because like if you, once we start to get deep, man, there's so many wide receivers, y'all. You gonna see 6'3", you know what I'm saying, running 4.2s and 4.3s. You gotta get you one. And you know what?
You know what I'm about to ask you too.
You might get you two.
I'm about to ask you something. Hey, look, you know, since you said BPA, so you'll take that Florida State University running back.
Oh, Trey Benson. Oh, 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now yeah, hell yeah, bro. Now that might not swing Cowboys fans to be excited, right? I mean, oh, took a running back in the first round, but damn, y'all, I'm gonna throw a celebration my damn self. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, it's so funny because he is such a good player, and I understand where you're coming from, but when I think about this team, and just like we was talking about when we first started off the draft, and we talk about this offensive line. I'm so big on, I think you can find running backs all throughout the draft. When you think about guys like Marion Barber, rest in peace to him. He was a third or fourth round pick. DeMarco Murray was a third round pick. Tony Pollard was a fourth round pick. Austin Eckler was undrafted. I feel as though you can find so much talent. The Kyren Williams, he was drafted late. So I think there's going to be talent there, but I had to ask you that though, because Benson is nice, and I kind of was thinking a little bit, but yeah, man, yeah,
no bias, man. But I have Trey Benson as my number one running back. I know it's between him and Brooks. Now my other guy, he would have probably been the number one running back in this year's class, but he returned back to the University of Kansas and Devin Neal. But like I said, you know, when it comes to Trey Benson, like I said, it's not just my Florida State bias, but I watch them just like I watch the Cowboys. So I know what type of player he is. You know what I'm saying? I've seen those games where it's like, we got to get the hell up out of here because we're tripping, and we just gave the ball to Benson, and he got us on out there. So if you're able to add that Trey Benson power with maybe a Rico, it looks a lot different than what we currently had. And it's
I think Rico's a free agent. Unrestricted free agent, right? Or
they'll probably bring him back because they limited his exposure. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I mean, even if Rico goes, right, you can like I can get you two. You know what I'm saying? I can get you two running backs in this year's class. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be some undrafted guys. You know, a guy that I have listed in Isaiah Davis. You know what I'm saying? Out of South Dakota State. Phenomenal. Like he reminds me of, he runs kind of like Pacheco's, like that wiry running, but he's always just moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's going to be some guys, and I feel like that was the biggest miss last year. Like, you know, Deuce was a cool story, but there was so many running backs. You know what I'm saying? Like you seen my guy Keaton Mitchell, who was undrafted, right? Who went to Baltimore. I'm like, bro, like I love Keaton. Like he was sitting right there. So, you know, I think the Cowboys are going to have to do a much better job when it comes to draft and free agency. It has to be a fusion dance, y'all. It can't just be one or the other. It's going to have to be aggressive in the draft, aggressive in the free agency. But
I got one guy that I don't know if you saw his tape or not yet, but I probably will run an all 22 on him, you know, a little bit down the line. But Ray Davis out of Kentucky.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ray Davis.
Yeah, I like Ray Davis out of Kentucky. 13 games last year. Well, he's 5'8", 220 pounds. And you know, a lot of defenders, when I played linebacker all throughout high school, I used to hate playing short running back that's 5'8", that's real sturdy and real stout.
So you play linebacker too. So we well, hell, we can do a whole linebacker show because that's my position, linebacker.
Hey, bro, me and you have to do a linebacker show, bro, because that's all I do is hit, bro. You already know, man. Because you already know the energy in my videos, bro. I be going crazy.
Linebacker.
But, as far as Ray Davis, just having over 1,000 yards, he had 1,100 yards rushing last year, 14 touchdowns. He had 33 receptions, 323 yards, and he had 7 touchdowns. Just being able to have that vision. He did play for Temple, and he played for Vanderbilt as well. He was a former 3-star recruit. So that's one of the guys we'll have to look out for because he's an explosive type of player. And he was jumping off the screen. And I think that, you know, when you can be able to get a guy like him in the 4th round or the 5th round, it reminds me of the Tony Pollards, the value, the Kyren Williams. That's why I was saying, like, if we don't go running back that early, if you do go offensive line, I feel as though that we have value towards the middle of the draft. And on top of that, we might end up getting a free agent. I don't know. Right. Saquon Barkley, what do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna say I ain't got it, but I ain't got it. But yeah, man, and like I said, when it comes to running backs like Ray Davis, what I call is like, you know, playing linebacker, these are the running backs where you have to actually put your mouthpiece in. You know what I'm saying? You can't be cute. You know what I'm saying? Put your mouthpiece in because there's going to be some collisions. So there's a lot of guys out there, definitely can add to this roster. And they're definitely going to have to do it. Another guy, we'll talk about it here. We'll get deep in the draft. I'm saying Jalen Wright.
Man. Yeah, as we go along.
You got Jalen Wright out of Tennessee. Man, it's a lot of different prospects out there that you can kind of go out there and get. And they're gonna have to be aggressive. Like I said, this cannot be the sit on your hands Dallas Cowboys anymore. That's old. We need to move on from it because a lot of people in this fan base are out. You know what I'm saying? Normally I can kind of like get Cowboys fans to kind of get a little optimism. I ain't got nothing, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all to start a business, you know what I'm saying? Start reading some books, start working out, you know what I'm saying? Get away from it.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, start a YouTube channel and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was talking to my guy DMV, man, such a DMV. I was like, bro, I might start like one of those Marvel channels or something, man, because I ain't got nothing to talk about because of the Cowboys, man, because it's bad out here in these streets right now. Cowboys fans don't want to hear nothing, man. I did my live show. Cowboys fans like, I'm sick of hearing this all. I'm like, hey, my bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you need a timeout, take a break, man. Come on back, man. But
yeah, that's what it's all about, man. It's so crazy, man. When you think about this team, just like you said, man, like this whole all-in thing, go out there and go get guys in free agency, go draft well, just be consistent, just be hungry. If you feel as though that we got the guys to go out there to go do it, go get better. BPA, whatever may have you, just go get impact players. It's going to be so fun to talk about, guys. We're going to be running so much all 22 from the free agents that we bring in, all the rest of this college, bro. We're about to go crazy with this college. That's really exciting. Just seeing all of their plays, all the stuff that they do. So we're going to be running through that stuff, me and you, man. It's going to be exciting, bro.
Yeah, it's fun, man. I love it. It's a passion of mine. Like I said, I'll be there next week for the Super Bowl. So like I said, Cowboys Nation, y'all gonna have to keep me accountable because if y'all see me on these Super Bowl shows and I start talking draft, because I'm focused on the draft, but you know what I'm saying, I gotta cover the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, so I ain't even think about what they're going on. But if I start talking draft, y'all need to like message me in the chat like, Tuck, you know what I'm saying, get back to the Super Bowl. But like you said, man, the only way that we can really get better is just doing the work, Cowboys Nation, and trying to help find some of the prospects, and hopefully our organization hears this, because our voice matters. A lot of people don't think it does. They hear what we're saying and they know we ticked off right now. They know, they feel it. They feel it. They feel the ripple effect. So don't let no one suppress your voice. Go out there, be loud. But at the end of the day, Cowboys Nation, I know y'all, we love this team. We bleed this team. We're going to rep this team, right or wrong. You're saying right or wrong, and we'll be back, and we're going to find ways to get back, man. I appreciate everyone for watching tonight. Dwayne Brown, appreciate the super chat. My guy said, so much talk about Deuce, wondering if he was 5'9", how would people call his career, college stats was equal to Bijan and Gibbs? Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know what I'm saying, I covered the Big 12. Deuce was phenomenal at K-State, y'all. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, but I'm just not sure how, you know what I'm saying, what really happened, you know what I'm saying, because you remember that last preseason game, they put him on display, they put Hunter Luepke on display, and they said, okay, that's all y'all get, you know what I'm saying.
But it's crazy, man, because the game plan for the preseason is totally different from the regular season. So they're gonna go with what they trust. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of times when you're a third running back, you ain't gonna really see that much burn. You're not gonna be on the field as much. But the better coaches, man, you got to utilize him, because he's one of the guys that I feel as though that can really do something for us coming up this season. I think we'll break more down Deuce Vaughn coming up in these future shows that we have together, bro.
Yeah, and I at least thought he was going to be active, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these draft picks for this class wasn't even active. You know what I'm saying? They dressed over sitting next to me. You know what I'm saying? So, but hopefully that will change, man. But yo, JC, my guy, I appreciate you for coming on, man. Glad we finally got to link and rock. This is not the last time. But for everyone seeing you for the first time, my guy, let them know where they can find you.
Man, y'all can find me on JC Cowboys Network. You guys definitely got to tap in with me. We got some unique work. You might see an animal run across the screen, but it gets you hype. It's really engaging. So you guys tap in with me, man. We got a lot of good flavor over there. Shout out to Jasmine and shout out to Captain Rob. We do the JC Lounge, and I will have my guy Jay Tuck in the JC Lounge with us on the live streams. But, man, much love to y'all, man. Cowboys Nation, I love y'all. Y'all already know what it is.
Yeah, my guy. Yeah, definitely check my guy. Like I said, he's doing incredible work, man. Like I said, when I came across his channel, I was like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be honest. I come across a lot of Cowboys content creators. I'm like, nah, that ain't it. But when I came across his channel, he's doing the right thing. He knows the game. He's breaking down the game. He's educating the game, and it's fun. It's exciting. That's all you can ask for, man. Is repping his team, man.
Thank you, bro.
And for those of y'all see me for the first time, man, J Tuck, you can follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. I appreciate all the support. Like I said, I'm not sure what the numbers are. We're 30 subscribers away from getting to our mark for 13,000. So share the content.
I'm getting close to 4K, man.
Well, get him the 4K, get me to 13K, man. Like, share the content, man, because there's a lot of people who need to learn about what's really going on in our community. Like, there's a lot of people who just watch ESPN and Stephen A. Smith, and they think that's all they have to digest. And there's so many great minds in this space providing y'all quality content, man. Don't lie, Tuck. You know you love Ernie. Hey, I like Ernie. Ernie's my dog, man. I like Ernie, man. Now, Ernie,
and Cowboys Nation on my side of town that watches my videos, y'all make sure y'all tap into J Tuck, man, because he got some special work over there, all 22.
Appreciate y'all. We got a lot of draft prospects. I'm gonna cut Cedric Gray for y'all tomorrow. I might drop 2 tomorrow, because I've been kind of stalling. But I got some more draft content coming. Also, CFO Sports, man, give us a like, subscribe. A lot of draft content. Next week I will be at Radio Row for the Super Bowl. So having a lot of interesting guests. I'm probably gonna get no sleep, so I'm trying to get some sleep this week. You know how Vegas is. So I appreciate y'all, man, for rocking with me, Cowboys Nation. Hit the subscribe button, share the content. Don't give up on your team. We're going to bounce back, and we're going to represent. So I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and go Cowboys. Peace.
Go Cowboys. Go.